Hey guys, so today is Sunday and today is going to be a much more relaxing day than yesterday. Yesterday I had a lot of work to do and I got most of it done, which means that today I haven't got that much to do. I started off this morning by editing last night's vlog, so that is edited and ready to go up. And so the first thing that I'm going to do now is I'm going to start to work on a thumbnail for that video, and then I've just got a few bits to do, but the majority of the day I'm just going to be doing like little bits like replying to comments and uploading to Patreon, so there's not that much to show you. But later I'm actually going to be doing a bit of a drawing setup tour for you guys, because I know a lot of you guys have wanted to see that. So I'm going to be showing you a lot of the things that I use to record my art videos, like the mics that I use, cameras, and just my basic setup for that. But firstly, let's get started with this thumbnail. So I'm just working on the thumbnail for today's vlog, and one thing that I really like doing is I like to cut out the main sort of subject from the background and add a really sort of cool hue on the background, just to make the sort of subject stand out a bit more, and it just makes it look a bit nicer. And the way I like to do that is I like to use this pen tool, and it's just really good at cutting out the images so that you can then add all the effects that you want to them in two different sort of halves. So here's the finished thumbnail. You can see that I was using the pen tool to basically cut this part of myself out so that I can make the background a nice different colour. And you can see how it just makes it a bit more interesting than it just being like dull grey colours in the background. It just gives it that pop of colour and vibrancy. And it's these small little tweaks and changes that really do make your thumbnail look a lot better. I also put a few words in there just to give a bit of context to the video. And the fan on the laptop is going absolutely crazy at the moment because I am exporting a load of those Patreon tutorials from last night. I realised last night that they were going to take way too long to export, so I just thought I would queue them up and do it this morning. So the laptop's going to be doing that for about the next 3 sort of hours because they are such big files. So now it's actually pretty late. Like I said, I didn't have much to do today, so I got the vlog up. That's all up now, and what I want to do now is actually show you guys my drawing setup and all of the things that I use to record my videos. Okay, so let's start off with one of the most important pieces of kit that I use, and that is the actual camera itself that I film my art videos with. And this is a DSLR camera. It is the Canon 200D, and it is a really good camera. I love using this. I've had it for a while, and it's just got one of the kit lenses on here as well that came with it. And as you can see, I have got a microphone attached here. It is the Rode microphone. It's the cheaper one, the Rode Go, I think it's called, not the Rode Pro, it's the Go one. And this is nice. I use this for the intros for my art videos, and also I'm using it now to record Patreon videos. But when I record Patreon videos, what I do is I actually unplug this, and instead of it being on the top of the DSLR, because I need it like in front of me, I just attach it to this, and that makes it a lot easier. Because I got this long cable, it can reach down now, and it's a lot easier to record the Patreon with. I've also got the blue Yeti microphone. I used to record my Patreon tutorials with this, but this is what I record a lot of the voiceovers for my YouTube videos with. I use the blue Yeti. It's an extremely good quality microphone. It's really good. It's quite expensive. It's like £110, but it is a really good quality microphone. When it comes to doing your drawings, you want to make sure that you have good lights as well, and this is because you want to make sure the hue of the light is really nice and that it's daylight. And the reason why this is important is because if you're doing a drawing and, for example, you have really yellow sort of fluorescent lights, then it can change the colour of your drawing, and then you'll take it outside or something and it will look completely different. And so you want to go for daylight bulbs, and I have 3 separate lights. I have 2 of the OT lights, and these have daylight bulbs in them, so they're really natural lighting. So I have 2 of them on either side, and I also have another daylight lamp up here, and I've had this for about 3 years. I want to get a new one of this because it causes lines on the camera sometimes, so I can't use it, and it also creates a bit of static with this microphone, whereas the other 2 lights don't. So I want to replace this, and I actually want to just get one that's white so that it naturally fits in with the rest of the sort of setup as well. So I've just got a desk as well, which is quite long. It's a really big desk, and we've got 2 of these. We've also got one over here with the PC setup, and so I use this for obviously the editing side. But back to the drawing desk, like I said, I use this for both the microphone and also to attach my mobile to. So quite often when I'm doing my drawings, I use this to put my phone in so I can see the reference photo that I'm drawing. And so this is just the Archon mobile tripod. This was about £20. So the next thing I have along the back, you can see I have this big sort of wall unit, and this is just from IKEA, and it's meant to go with a specific desk from IKEA, but I just bought this separately. And what I wanted this for was a lot of storage for my art supplies. And you can see on the top I have my pastel pencils, and below I have all my watercolour supplies, so my 2 sets of watercolour palettes and just a clean palette to mix colours on. I have some more palettes down here, a jar which I put my water in, and just some masking fluid and gold paint. I also have some white gouache as well, so this is just really for the painting side, more of the watercolours up here, and then just the sort of miscellaneous stuff down here. And in here I have some pastel sponges and just a bit of random stuff really. So you can see that the camera is attached to this arm, and this is attached to just a pole. I used some curtain brackets just to attach this, and we've got a nice pole and a clamp here. So the single arm clips into the clamp, and I've just clamped it on that pole, and it's really nice, and it wobbles a bit, but it's fine. I just leave it for a minute and then it just stabilizes, which is fine. So along the back I keep my 2 sets of coloured pencils, my Faber-Castell Polychromos and my Caran d'Ache Luminance. I've also got my Faber-Castell graphite pencils, as well as some Inktense down here, and then I've just got a box full of more graphite pencils and charcoal and stuff. On this side I keep my pads of paper, so my toned paper, my mixed media paper, my Strathmore Bristol smooth paper, and same along the top I've got a few pads up here of my pastel matte paper and some watercolour paper. Along the top I've also got 2 wooden sets of 3 drawers, and there's nothing actually in them at the moment, but I've got a set on this side and on this side. I've also got my Derwent sharpener, which you see me use loads in my art videos. So down here I just have 2 pots. I got these from IKEA as well. This one is just full of paintbrushes that I use for my watercolours and to blend solvent out and stuff like that. I've got my solvent for my coloured pencils, my brush and pencil, titanium white powder and touch-up texture, which I use for coloured pencil drawings as well. Just got some toilet paper which I use to blot watercolour and, you know, to get off any excess water off my paintbrushes. And in this pot I have things like mechanical pencils, gel pens, and just any other things like pencil extenders really. And in the drawer below it I haven't got anything. I also just have a couple of candles because I really like burning candles as I'm working. I like them when they smell really nice, and it just creates a nice ambiance when I'm working. My favourite candle of all time is this one. It is the Candy Cane Forest. I absolutely love this candle. I've got 4 whole new ones of this at home as well, and I like a lot of candles, but this is by far my absolute favourite. I really recommend this one. It smells so nice. But yeah, that's basically my drawing setup. I like to keep it quite simple and not loads going on with it. There's not too much going on. I really like it. It's just nice and fresh. I wanted to go for a really sort of white, bright and fresh feel to it. I also want to get a new chair. So this is Darby's chair, and I want to get a really nice white one that has a lot of padding and is really comfortable, considering I sit for long periods of time each day. But I can't seem to find one that I like at the moment. They either don't really like suit what I'm going for, or they're not really comfortable, or they squeak too much, which is really important if I'm like recording Patreon stuff. I can't have my chair squeaking constantly, which is one of the problems with this one. You can hear it's quite squeaky, this one is. I just want to share with you guys this great book that I've been reading. It's by Gary Vee and it's called Crushing It. It's absolutely great. I'm working through it. I'm halfway through it at the moment, and it's just really good. If you're thinking about starting your own like art business or anything online, then I really recommend this book and his channel. He is so good, and he's just very like no nonsense about it, and he doesn't romanticize it at all, and it's really good. It talks a lot about social media. I actually got it signed when I went and seen him. I cried my eyes out when I went and met him. I'm very emotional, but it's really good, and it's full of lots of useful tips about different social media sites like Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, and it just gives a lot of tips and people's stories about how they made it doing like creative things and how they go and like pursue their passions and actually achieve it. There are different routes and different ways they can do it. So if you really want to get into being an artist and you're just not sure about the business side of stuff, then I really do recommend this book. Okay guys, just to end off the vlog, I want to do a couple of questions. Remember, if you guys want to ask me anything, then make sure to comment your questions down below and I'll try and answer them in a future vlog. And so the first question is, what is my favourite and least favourite subject matter to draw? So my favourite thing to draw is portraits. I love drawing portraits, especially in coloured pencil. And my least favourite thing to draw is probably landscapes. No matter what medium it's in, I'm not really a fan of drawing landscapes. The next question is, what printer do I use for my prints and do I make my own prints? So I do make my own prints, and the printer that I use is the Color P600, and that is an Epson printer. It's really good quality, and the paper that I use is the Fine Art Velvet paper by Epson as well, and it just makes some really high quality prints. I love it, and it's not too expensive. It's not like thousands of pounds for the printer. It's actually quite a decent price and you get really high quality prints. The ink that I use is the Epson one for the actual printer, and that can be quite expensive. It's like £20 for a cartridge, for an ink cartridge, and it does last quite a long time though, I've found. But anyway guys, that is it for this vlog. I've been really tired today. I think yesterday absolutely exhausted me, so it's nice to have this day where it's a bit more chill, just to kind of regenerate for next week. The week coming up, it's going to be a busy week and I've got lots to do, so I'm just going to go watch a film with Darby and then go to bed. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye everybody.